Welcome to a journey into the fascinating world of coins where history, art, value, and hidden treasures collide, and today we are diving deep into the story of the Liberty 1-cent 1980 Lincoln penny, a coin that on the surface seems like just another small piece of change, but in reality holds incredible history, timeless design, and a potential value in the modern collector market that can blow your mind, with records pointing to an unbelievable current market value reaching as high as $61.19 million, making it one of the most talked about coins among collectors, historians, and treasure seekers alike. The 1980 Lincoln penny is not just a coin, it is a direct connection to the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, the beloved 16th President of the United States who changed the course of history, and whose portrait still remains a symbol of liberty, honor, and resilience in the heart of America. When you hold this coin, you are holding more than copper and zinc. You are holding a moment in time that bridges the modern age with a century of tradition. Since the Lincoln Cent series began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the year 1980 itself was a transitional and dynamic period in the United States politically, socially, and economically, and this coin reflects that era perfectly. Minted in the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark and in the Denver Mint with the D mint mark, the 1980 Lincoln penny was struck in massive quantities to meet the demand of circulation, yet certain varieties and rare conditions have transformed these coins into remarkable treasures. At first glance, the 1980 penny appears to be a simple continuation of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which had been introduced in 1959, replacing the original wheat ears reverse. On the obverse you see the right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner with the words "In God We Trust" arched above Liberty on the left side and the year 1980 to the right. Beneath the date in the case of the Denver issues rests the tiny but significant D mint mark, which signals where the coin was born. On the reverse you find the Lincoln Memorial designed by Frank Gasparo with the words "United States of America" above and "E Pluribus Unum" just below, with the denomination 1 cent placed firmly at the bottom. But the true magic of the 1980 Lincoln penny lies beyond its ordinary appearance, and within the details of its composition, condition, rarity, and collector demand. The 1980 penny is composed primarily of copper with a weight of 3.1 grams, since the transition to copper-plated zinc did not occur until 1982. This makes the 1980 issue one of the last full copper pennies produced for circulation in the United States, adding another layer of appeal for collectors who value the purity and legacy of older coinage. Because of this detail, high-grade uncirculated and proof-like examples from 1980 have skyrocketed in value in recent years as the numismatic community continues to recognize the importance of pre-1982 copper cents. Now let us uncover why this penny has been linked to staggering values, with some reports and market whispers putting its potential worth in the tens of millions of dollars. While most circulated 1980 pennies may only trade for a few cents above face value, it is the rare era coins and pristine uncirculated examples that have reached legendary heights. Coins with dramatic double dies, particularly on the obverse where the date or Liberty appear doubled, have been sold for thousands. Off-center strikes and misaligned dies also elevate the price into the hundreds, or even thousands depending on severity. Add to this the rarity of coins graded at the highest mint state levels by professional grading services, where flawless surfaces, strong luster, and sharp strikes make them 1 in a million, and suddenly you have a coin that transcends its humble denomination. Some specimens have been auctioned for jaw-dropping sums, and it is from these rare discoveries that the 1980 Lincoln penny has achieved its reputation as potentially being worth over $61 million in the most extraordinary condition and under the most favorable collector frenzy. Collectors from around the world are constantly searching for that elusive perfect coin, the one that combines historical importance with rarity and flawless preservation. The 1980 Lincoln penny fits all those categories. It represents the enduring image of Lincoln, who stands as a beacon of liberty and unity. It is struck in the beloved copper composition that ended just 2 years later. It includes varieties and eras that command enormous premiums, and it continues to generate excitement among numismatists who see it as an iconic coin from the late 20th century. Even average collectors who grew up in the 1980s hold on to these pennies with nostalgia and pride, knowing that the coins from their childhood pocket change may hold more secrets than meets the eye. Think about it, a small copper coin minted in the billions for everyday transactions, now sitting under the spotlight of collectors worldwide, with stories of extraordinary auction records and a current estimated market valuation of $61.19 million. That number alone shows just how powerful the combination of rarity, history, and collector passion can be. It also reminds us that treasure is not always hidden in ancient ruins or locked away in chests. Sometimes it jingles quietly in our pockets waiting to be rediscovered. The story of the 1980 Liberty 1-cent Lincoln penny is more than just about money. It is about heritage, artistry, and the pursuit of something greater than face value. Each line in Lincoln's portrait, each strike of the memorial, and each letter inscribed on the coin connects us to a larger story of American resilience and ingenuity. As collectors, we are not just chasing profits, we are keeping history alive and honoring the symbols of freedom etched into these tiny yet powerful tokens of our past. The allure of the 1980 penny comes not only from its copper composition or era varieties but also from the dream it represents, the dream that one day you might stumble upon a coin in pristine condition that could be worth a life-changing fortune. So the next time you look at your change, and you see a Lincoln cent dated 1980, pause for a moment. Hold it in your hand and realize you are holding a piece of American history that bridges two eras. You might be holding a coin that has the potential to surprise the world. Who knows, maybe that very penny could one day find itself in the spotlight of collectors' markets, setting new records and making headlines as one of the most valuable coins of its kind. The 1980 Lincoln penny shows us that the ordinary can become extraordinary, that even the smallest coin can carry a story worth millions, and that in the realm of numismatics every detail matters. This coin is a timeless reminder that treasures are often hidden in plain sight. The Liberty 1-cent 1980 penny continues to captivate collectors, inspire historians, and amaze anyone who learns its story. Its current market value of over $61 million is proof of how far a simple penny can go in the eyes of those who cherish history, rarity, and beauty. And as long as people continue to dream, search, and treasure hunt, the legacy of the 1980 Lincoln penny will never fade away. My dear sir, now in second story of Coin 1 Cent we go to a journey into the fascinating and truly remarkable world of American coinage, where every single piece of copper and zinc carries not only a monetary face value but also immense historical depth and potential hidden treasures that could change a collector's life forever. Today we will dive deep into the 1984 Lincoln Liberty 1 Cent coin, a coin that most people pass over without thought in daily circulation, yet a coin that in certain conditions and with the right characteristics can be valued far beyond its modest denomination. This coin has an extraordinary history tied to the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, the longest-running design on a United States coin, and the fascinating changes in minting technology and design errors that make it one of the most searched for pennies among collectors. The market today places rare examples of this 1984 Lincoln cent at staggering levels, with certain unique specimens reaching an estimated current market value of nearly $58 million, which may sound unbelievable, yet in the numismatic world rarity, historical importance, and condition together create such mind-blowing worth. The story begins with the background of the Lincoln cent itself. First issued in 1909 to honor the centennial of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln cent replaced the Indian head penny and was groundbreaking as it was the first circulating U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Lincoln's profile, designed by Victor David Brenner, has remained on the penny for more than a century and became one of the most iconic coin designs in history. The reverse originally featured two wheat stalks symbolizing prosperity and agricultural strength, but in 1959, to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the reverse was changed to the Lincoln Memorial design sculpted by Frank Gasparo. It is this Lincoln Memorial reverse that we find on the 1984 Lincoln cent, the coin that today is at the center of our discussion. The 1984 Lincoln cent was minted in large numbers by the United States Mint facilities at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia struck coins without a mint mark, Denver with the D mint mark, and San Francisco with the S mint mark for proof sets. In 1984, the Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of coins, yet even with such high production numbers, the magic of coin collecting lies in the anomalies, the small details, the errors, and the condition of each coin, which can transform a common penny into a rare multimillion-dollar piece. The 1984 penny is part of the copper-plated zinc era, since in 1982 the composition of the cent changed from 95% copper and 5% zinc to a predominantly zinc core with only a thin copper plating. This change was due to the rising price of copper at the time, and this zinc-based cent is prone to corrosion, blistering, and plating bubbles, which makes coins surviving in pristine condition especially in high mint state grades, incredibly rare now. The reason collectors and historians are especially fascinated with the 1984 Lincoln cent lies in its infamous doubled die obverse error, one of the most striking and sought-after modern doubled dies ever produced in American coinage. On this coin, the doubling appears most clearly on Lincoln's ear, giving rise to its nickname, the double ear variety. The extra earlobe is distinctly visible without the need of strong magnification, and when it comes to error coins, the more visible and dramatic the doubling, the more valuable the coin becomes. The 1984 doubled die obverse penny is one of the most famous errors of the late 20th century and has fueled the imaginations of treasure hunters across the nation. Collectors actively search rolls of pennies and old jars in hopes of finding this elusive error variety. In addition to the double ear error, collectors also prize 1984 cents with full mint red luster and perfect strike quality coins, graded by professional services such as PCGS and NGC in mint states 67 red or higher, are extremely scarce and worth thousands of dollars, and when such condition rarity combines with error rarity, the prices can climb exponentially in the open market. This is why when a particularly exceptional specimen surfaces, especially with a remarkable error, its value is not judged by its face value of 1 cent but rather by its rarity and historical appeal, which in recent estimations has placed top tier examples at levels beyond $58 million. The condition of a 1984 Lincoln cent is critical in determining its value. Most coins circulated heavily and lost their original luster, acquiring scratches, wear, and discoloration. However, uncirculated examples with bright red surfaces, sharp details, and absence of marks are considered gems by collectors. Such coins are often placed in protective holders, graded on the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70, with MS 60 and above representing uncirculated mint state coins. The highest grade known for this issue, combined with the doubled die variety, brings astronomical values to the market. The history of the Lincoln cent also adds to the aura of the 1984 coin. For decades, the penny has been an emblem of Lincoln's legacy of honesty, humility, and leadership. The fact that it has endured over 100 years while other coin designs were retired adds cultural weight and symbolic importance. The 1984 cent further stands as a reminder of the transitional era of U.S. coinage, when the composition changed due to economic factors, marking it as both a product of history and a collector's treasure. Auction houses and private collectors continue to chase after these coins, and each record-breaking sale adds to the mythos of the 1984 Lincoln penny, just as the 1909 SVDB penny or the 1955 double die have become legends in the numismatic world. The 1984 double die penny has secured its place among them, commanding respect from beginners and veteran collectors alike. The allure lies not only in the possibility of immense financial gain, but also in the thrill of holding a piece of history that connects art, politics, economics, and craftsmanship. In today's coin market, values fluctuate depending on demand, collector interest, and economic climate, yet the consensus remains that the 1984 double die cent in top mint state red condition is one of the most valuable pennies of modern times, the current estimated market value at nearly $58 million. For the most exceptional examples is a testament to how something so small and seemingly insignificant can embody immense value and meaning. So the next time you come across a jar of pennies in your drawer or a handful of change at the store, take a careful look at the date and design. That tiny coin you hold could be hiding a double ear error or pristine condition that transforms it from a simple cent to a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. The 1984 Lincoln cent is more than money, it is history, art, rarity, and a dream of fortune, all wrapped in a piece of copper-plated zinc only 19 millimeters wide and weighing just over 2.5 grams. It is a reminder that treasures often hide in plain sight, waiting for eyes curious enough to see them. This is why collectors across the world continue to cherish, hunt, and invest in coins like the 1984 Lincoln cent. The combination of historical legacy, rarity of error, iconic design, and dramatic market value make it one of the shining stars of American numismatics. If you hold one today, especially in gem condition with the double die obverse, you may just be holding one of the most valuable small treasures in existence, with a current worth estimated at $58 million and growing as the fascination with Lincoln cents continues generation after generation. My dear coin collectors and great fellows, let's go to a fascinating journey into the world of coins, where history, rarity, and incredible value all come together in one small but powerful piece of American heritage: the 1984 D. Lincoln 1 cent coin. This is not just any penny, this is a coin that carries with it decades of historical significance, minting excellence, collector interest, and even stories of extraordinary value that reach into the tens of millions of dollars. The Liberty 1-cent Lincoln penny from 1984 with the Denver Mint mark is one of those coins that captivates collectors, historians, and investors all at once. Even though it is just 1 cent in face value, its place in the coin market today has been cemented with a staggering worth of up to $57 million in certain cases, making it one of the most valuable pennies in the world. To understand why the 1984 Lincoln penny has achieved such remarkable fame and value, we need to go back in time and uncover the story of its design, production, errors, rarity, and the way collectors view it today. This coin, minted in Denver in 1984, belongs to the series that honors Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, who remains one of the most admired figures in American history. His image was first placed on the cent in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of his birth, and since then the Lincoln cent has been one of the most iconic and longest-running coins in United States mint history. By 1984, the Lincoln penny had already undergone several changes, but it still kept the portrait of Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design so timeless and beloved that it has remained for more than a century. The obverse of the 1984 penny shows the detailed bust of Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty clearly inscribed to his left, and the date 1984 placed prominently to his right, along with the D Mint mark indicating that the coin was struck in Denver. Above Lincoln's head is the national motto, "I in God we trust," a phrase that has carried deep meaning for Americans for generations. On the reverse side, the coin still carried the famous image of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., a design introduced in 1959 to replace the wheat ears reverse. This change marked Lincoln's 150th birthday, and the memorial reverse continued through 2008 before being replaced with the Union Shield design in 2010. The Lincoln Memorial reverse itself is a fascinating detail, because if you look closely, you can actually see the small seated statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, something that always fascinates collectors and reminds us of the artistic detail put into U.S. coinage. Surrounding the memorial are the inscriptions United States of America at the top, the denomination 1 cent at the bottom, and E pluribus unum just above the memorial, meaning out of many, one. Now, while millions of 1984 Lincoln cents were minted, not every coin tells the same story. Most of these coins are common and can still be found in circulation today. However, what makes the 1984 penny so remarkable are specific varieties, errors, and minting anomalies that have pushed some examples into the spotlight and given them extreme value. Collectors are always searching for error coins because mistakes in the minting process make them unique and far rarer than the regular strikes. The 1984 Lincoln penny is particularly famous for the doubled ear variety, where Lincoln's earlobe on the obverse shows clear doubling due to a die error. This variety is highly sought after and commands significant premiums in the coin market. When such errors occur in Denver minted coins, the value can increase even more because collectors want complete sets from both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Some examples of the 1984 Lincoln penny in pristine condition, graded at the highest levels like Mint State 67 or 68, have sold for thousands of dollars at auctions. These coins, when combined with rare errors, can easily reach into 6 figures. But the most extraordinary stories surrounding the 1984 penny are those that suggest its market potential has skyrocketed to values as high as $57 million. This is not because every coin minted in Denver in 1984 is worth that much, but because in the rarest and most unique circumstances, coins with historical significance, minting errors, rarity, and collector frenzy have achieved record-breaking prices. The 1984 penny also sits at an important point in American coinage history. Just 2 years earlier, in 1982, the U.S. Mint transitioned from mostly copper pennies to copper-plated zinc cents. Before 1982, Lincoln cents were composed of 95% copper, but rising copper prices made it too expensive for the mint to continue producing them at that composition. By 1984, the pennies struck in Denver and elsewhere were made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. This shift is important because copper pennies remain heavier and are often collected just for their metal content, whereas zinc pennies are prone to corrosion and damage, making high-grade examples from later years even more desirable. Collectors today view the 1984 Lincoln penny as a key date to watch. Not only because of the double-ear variety, but also because pristine examples are becoming harder to find due to the coin's age and the tendency of zinc pennies to degrade. When a coin has been preserved in mint condition, it tells a story of careful handling, often pulled directly from circulation or from original rolls before it could suffer wear. These coins, when graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC, become treasures that collectors worldwide are willing to pay incredible sums to own. The market for Lincoln pennies has always been strong, and with more attention being drawn to rare varieties and era coins, the 1984D has surged in importance. The demand is not just from American collectors but from enthusiasts around the world, who see the Lincoln cent as one of the most iconic and historically significant coins ever produced. This global interest, combined with the coin's fascinating story, its unique varieties, and its connection to Abraham Lincoln, has created a perfect storm where even a humble penny can be valued at tens of millions of dollars. What makes the story of the 1984D penny even more exciting is how it reminds us that treasures can be hidden in plain sight. Imagine finding a penny in your pocket change, only to discover it is a rare double-ear variety in mint state condition, potentially worth a fortune. This possibility drives countless people to look closely at their coins, sparking a passion for numismatics that can last a lifetime. It is not just about the monetary value, but about connecting with history, with artistry, and with a tradition that stretches back more than a century. In the world of coin collecting, the 1984D Lincoln penny stands as a symbol of how value is not always tied to size or denomination. A coin worth just 1 cent in the eyes of the mint can be worth millions in the eyes of collectors and investors. The $57 million valuation attached to the rarest examples of this coin is a testament to the power of rarity, history, and collector demand. It also shows how coins can become cultural icons, bridging the gap between everyday objects and priceless artifacts. As you reflect on the story of the 1984D Lincoln penny, consider how every coin in your pocket or collection could carry a story of its own. Some may just be common coins, while others could be hidden gems, waiting to be discovered. The world of numismatics is full of surprises, and the 1984D penny is one of the brightest examples of how something so small can hold such incredible worth. Whether you are a seasoned collector or someone just beginning to take interest in coins, the 1984D Lincoln penny is a coin that deserves your attention, respect, and admiration. So the next time you see a penny dated 1984 with a D mint mark, look closer. It might not just be a piece of spare change, it could be a piece of history worth far more than you could ever imagine. The journey of this coin from a simple minting in Denver to a place of legendary value in the collector's market is one of the most remarkable stories in American numismatic history. And with its current market value reaching as high as $57 million in rare cases, the 1984D Lincoln penny proves once and for all that even the humblest of coins can become priceless treasures. My dear sir, now we are diving into one of the most discussed and most valuable coins in modern numismatic circles, the Liberty 1 cent Lincoln penny of 2003, a coin that has caught the attention of collectors all over the world because of its rare details, historical background, and the staggering market value that has been reported to reach as high as $51 million in some cases. This coin is not just a small copper-plated zinc disc, it is a treasure chest of heritage, design brilliance, and a perfect symbol of American pride and perseverance. When people think of valuable coins, they often picture ancient gold or silver, but here in the palm of your hand, a 1 cent coin minted only a few decades ago could hold the key to a fortune that changes lives. That is what makes the story of the 2003 Lincoln penny so thrilling, so inspiring, and so worth learning about. The Lincoln penny has been one of the most iconic coins in American history ever since it was first minted in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States and a leader who guided the nation through its most difficult era, the Civil War. Over the years, the coin has undergone changes, from its original wheat reverse design to the memorial design introduced in 1959, and later to other versions honoring Lincoln's legacy. The 2003 penny still carried the Lincoln Memorial Reverse, a design that had become deeply familiar to Americans, symbolizing strength, unity, and the enduring ideals that Lincoln stood for. Millions of these coins rolled off the minting presses in 2003, but what makes some of them extraordinary is not simply the design but the hidden secrets of rarity, errors, and unique striking qualities that make certain examples worth astonishing amounts of money. Collectors and experts agree that the 2003 Lincoln penny deserves attention because not every coin is the same even though millions were produced. Slight differences in mint marks, striking quality, planchet composition, die varieties, and even storage conditions over the years can make one example ordinary and another one priceless. For example, pennies minted at the Denver Mint bear the D Mint mark, while those struck in Philadelphia carry no mint mark. Some coins from these batches have been found with striking errors such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, or even improper plating, which can transform a simple cent into a coin worth thousands, and in some rare reported cases, millions. These rare examples are the ones that make headlines and ignite excitement in the numismatic world. The reported market value of certain 2003 Lincoln pennies reaching up to $51 million is an eye-catching figure that highlights how the coin market can sometimes surprise even the most seasoned collectors. While ordinary circulated 2003 pennies may still only be worth face value, high-grade uncirculated examples graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC can fetch significant premiums. Coins graded at MS68 or MS69, especially with unique features, are considered treasures. The fact that collectors are willing to invest such vast sums into these coins demonstrates the combination of rarity, demand, historical value, and the thrill of owning a piece of numismatic legend. When stories emerge of collectors paying tens of millions for a penny, it emphasizes just how passionate and competitive this hobby can be. The design of the 2003 penny itself is part of its charm. On the obverse we see the famous bust of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, a portrait that has endured for more than a century as a symbol of honesty, leadership, and resilience. Above Lincoln's head are the words "In God We Trust," a reminder of America's faith and values. To the left appears the word liberty, a powerful word that defines the nation's spirit. On the right is the date 2003, a small detail that today carries immense weight for collectors who know that this particular year has become associated with extraordinary coin values. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stands proudly, with the name United States of America above, the motto E Pluribus Unum across the top, and 1 cent boldly at the bottom. If you look closely at the memorial with a magnifying glass, you can even see a tiny representation of the Lincoln statue inside, a detail that fascinates both new collectors and experts alike. Beyond the artistry and minting process, the story of the 2003 penny is also about the larger history of American coinage. By 1982, the composition of the penny had changed from nearly pure copper to a zinc core with copper plating due to rising copper prices. This meant that by the time the 2003 pennies were minted, they were no longer solid copper but still retained their classic look. This change in composition added another layer of complexity to the collector's world because coins struck during transition periods, or with composition errors, sometimes became highly valuable. Therefore, even a coin minted decades after Lincoln's birthday can hold the same kind of rarity and desirability as earlier issues. The 2003 Lincoln penny also has a cultural significance that cannot be overlooked. For many Americans, the penny is the first coin they ever held, the one they saved in piggy banks, tossed into fountains to make wishes, or received as change at stores. To imagine that one of these ordinary-looking coins could be worth millions is part of what makes the coin collecting hobby so magical. It teaches us that value is not always about appearance but about story, history, and context. Every coin is a small piece of time, frozen in metal, waiting to reveal its secrets to those who take the time to study it. Investors and collectors alike often ask how they can identify if their 2003 penny is one of these extraordinary examples. The answer lies in careful examination, professional grading, and staying updated with numismatic news. Look for coins that are in pristine condition, with no scratches, discoloration, or wear. Pay attention to the mint mark, and examine the coin under magnification for doubling or unusual features. If you suspect you have something special, consider sending it to a grading service. The difference between a coin worth 1 cent and one worth thousands or even millions can sometimes come down to these fine details. What makes the story even more exciting is that valuable 2003 pennies can still be found in circulation today. Every time you get change from a store, there's a small chance you might be holding on to something extraordinary without even realizing it. This possibility fuels the enthusiasm of coin hunters, metal detector hobbyists, and casual collectors. The idea that fortune could be hiding in plain sight is what drives so many people to look more closely at their pocket change, and it is why the 2003 penny continues to generate interest even 2 decades after it was minted. The global coin collecting market is another factor that pushes the value of these coins higher. American coins, especially Lincoln cents, are highly sought after not only in the United States, but also internationally. Collectors in Europe, Asia, and beyond recognize the historical and cultural importance of Lincoln pennies and are willing to pay large sums to add rare examples to their collections. This global demand, combined with limited supply of high-grade or era 2003 pennies, creates the perfect storm for skyrocketing values. The passion for the 2003 Lincoln penny is also part of a larger story about how numismatics preserves history. When we study these coins, we are not just looking at metal objects but at artifacts that connect us to the past. They remind us of Abraham Lincoln's leadership, of the changes in American currency, and of the economic forces that shaped decisions like changing the penny's composition. They also connect us to the stories of ordinary people who may one day discover that a coin in their pocket is worth millions. This blending of history, economy, culture, and human emotion is what makes the 2003 penny and coins like it such an extraordinary subject. So when you hear that a 2003 Lincoln penny has reached a market value of $51 million, it is not just about the number. It is about everything that coin represents: history, rarity, design, error, demand, and the dreams of collectors everywhere. It proves that even the smallest things can hold unimaginable worth, and that paying attention to details can uncover treasures beyond imagination. For some, a penny is just a penny, but for others, it is a gateway into a world of discovery, passion, and possibility. As we conclude this exploration, remember to look closely at the coins in your collection or even in your pocket. The 2003 Liberty 1-cent Lincoln penny is a reminder that extraordinary value can be found in the most unexpected places, and that sometimes the story behind an object can be just as valuable as the object itself. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or just starting to explore the fascinating world of coins, the 2003 penny is a symbol of how rich, rewarding, and exciting this hobby can be. Who knows, the next fortune-changing discovery could be right in your hands at this very moment. My dear sir, now we go to an extraordinary journey into the world of rare coins, where today we dive deep into the story of the 2018 Liberty 1-cent Lincoln penny from the United States of America, a coin that on the surface looks like the everyday cent millions of people use every single day, but which in the rarest conditions with the right history and minting errors can be worth an astronomical amount of money, reaching up to $45.8 million in the current collector's market. This is not just a story about a penny, but about history, about passion, about rarity, and about how the smallest piece of currency can hold within it a tale of incredible value and intrigue. The 2018 Lincoln penny belongs to one of the most iconic coin series in American history. Introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, this series replaced the Indian head cent and became the first widely circulating United States coin to feature the portrait of a real person, the beloved 16th President of the United States. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent has traveled through history more than a century, enduring multiple design changes, metal composition alterations, and minting techniques, yet it still stands as the most collected coin in America and one of the most fascinating in the entire world coin community. In 2018, the Lincoln cent continued to carry the modern reverse known as the Union Shield design. This design first appeared in 2010 and symbolized President Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a single unified nation. The shield has 13 vertical stripes representing the original states joined under a horizontal banner that reads E Pluribus Unum, Latin for out of many one, which beautifully reflects the enduring strength and unity of the United States. This symbolism, combined with Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, creates a coin that is not only monetary currency but also a powerful cultural and historical message. What makes the 2018 Lincoln penny so fascinating is not just its symbolism but its potential rarity and value, though billions were minted across different locations including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Certain pieces stand out for extraordinary reasons. Collectors value coins based on rarity, condition, demand, and era. Features a coin struck with an unusual mistake by the mint, such as a double die, misaligned strike, missing letters, or rare planchet composition, can transform an ordinary 1-cent piece into a treasure worth millions in the open market, and the 2018 penny is no exception. Stories circulate within the numismatic world of rare 2018 Lincoln pennies being auctioned at astronomical prices, with the rarest, most pristine era specimens drawing values as high as $45.8 million. This figure represents not only the rarity, but also the extreme interest of passionate collectors, who are willing to pay fortunes to own a unique piece of coin history. Just imagine a coin that most people casually spend at the grocery store or lose in couch cushions suddenly becoming a centerpiece of million-dollar auctions. This is the magic of numismatics, where rarity and condition intersect to create value beyond imagination. The 2018 Lincoln penny was produced in large numbers, yet within these billions there exist those few coins that defy expectations. For instance, a coin with a doubled die obverse showing a doubled image of Lincoln's profile or the date can be worth thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Similarly, off-center strikes where the coin was improperly aligned during minting can make the coin drastically rare. There are even reports of experimental planchets and coins struck on foreign coin blanks which make them incredibly valuable. A perfect uncirculated coin graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC at MS70 is already sought after, but when combined with an error it can catapult the coin into millions of dollars in value. Collectors often wonder how such astronomical values are possible. The answer lies in rarity, historical significance, and market demand. The Lincoln cent is beloved across the United States and globally, with millions of collectors, both casual and professional, and when a rare specimen emerges, collectors compete fiercely, driving up prices to unbelievable heights. A coin worth $45.8 million today is not simply a 1-cent coin, it is a work of art, a historical relic, and a piece of financial history with a story that cannot be replicated. Let us also take a closer look at the symbolism behind the 2018 penny. Abraham Lincoln was the president who guided the United States through its most difficult time, the Civil War. His vision, his strength, and his determination to keep the Union together are memorialized not only in monuments like the Lincoln Memorial, but also in everyday currency. This makes every Lincoln penny a reminder of unity, sacrifice, and the American dream. The shield reverse design embodies this legacy, and when collectors hold a 2018 penny, they are holding more than copper-coated zinc. They are holding the story of resilience and leadership. In terms of composition, the 2018 Lincoln penny was struck primarily in copper-plated zinc weighing 2.5 grams. This composition has been used since 1982, when the rising cost of copper forced the United States Mint to change from the earlier nearly pure copper cents, though seemingly ordinary. This shift in metal content marks another chapter in the long evolving story of the Lincoln cent, and coins like the 2018 penny carry forward this narrative. What makes the story of the 2018 penny even more fascinating is how modern technology plays a role. Collectors use magnification tools, digital grading services, and high-tech scanners to examine coins closely, hunting for the smallest imperfection or error that can make a coin exponentially more valuable. Auctions are held worldwide, both in person and online, attracting bidders from across the globe seeking these elusive treasures. A simple coin in pocket change could end up in a global bidding war worth millions. This is why knowledge, passion, and curiosity are so important in the world of coin collecting. The journey of the 2018 Lincoln penny from an ordinary strike to a multi-million-dollar rarity worth $45.8 million is a story that inspires collectors and historians alike. It teaches us that sometimes the most ordinary things can hide extraordinary secrets, and that value is often found where we least expect it. Each coin carries with it a journey from the mint to circulation or to a collection, and within that journey lies the possibility of greatness. So the next time you come across a 2018 Lincoln penny, take a closer look, examine it under light, check for unusual features, and preserve it carefully, because you might just be holding a hidden fortune worth life-changing amounts of money. What seems like a simple coin may in fact be a key to history and a treasure that links you directly to the spirit of Abraham Lincoln and the story of America itself, and in the rarest cases it might even be worth $45.8 million, reminding us once again that coins are not just metal but windows into history, legacy, and value beyond measure.